All right, I've got 6 o'clock. Let's go ahead and call the village board order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I'd like to thank everyone for their attendance. Jude, a little housekeeping notes for tonight's meeting. Item 4, village persons present be heard would be only for the public. I had asked our single person from the public if he had any comments. He said no, we would pass on that. Item 7, department and officers reports. All information has been distributed in either via email to the board for updates, and we've also had all of our social media and web pages have been updated, so there'll be no departments and officers reports. So let's move on to item 3. I'm assuming you have the attendance, Jesse?
I do. Thank you.
Okay, so item 3 is approval of the 3/16 village board meeting minutes and the file the 2/13 architectural review board, the 3/2 finance committee meeting minutes as presented.
I'll make the motion, Jesse.
Thank you. Motion by trustee Harbeck.
Second, Jesse.
Oh, I'm sorry, could I have a name?
David Liss.
Okay, second by trustee Liss.
Motion and a second. Comments, questions on the minutes?
We have error, second paragraph under business presented by president. The 4th sentence, document will be incorrect, not will RB.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, anything else? Okay, motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes 7-0. Let's move on to item 5, business presented by the president. I just want to let everybody know that late this afternoon, as of State of Wisconsin Supreme Court, we do have an election that's on tomorrow. So for any of those people that were planning on or had a special actions that would have been dependent on that activity is on for tomorrow. All right, let's move on to item 6, resolutions, ordinance, and action items. Item A is an acceptance of the donation from the American Legion Auxiliary. And that's received a $1,000 donation for the Grafton Police Department.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by trustee Harbeck.
And we'll take that from,
I'll second.
Second by trustee Antoine.
okay, motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
I have a question.
Trustee Krieger with a question.
Trustee, yes. We have an item following to revise or amend the policy. Why would we be doing that before we actually accept the donation?
This is following current policy, so this is as is, and now we're going to ask to make a change moving forward.
Correct.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay, so I do believe that passed on a 7-0 vote. Let's move on to item B, a temporary amendment to the Village of Grafton donation policy. And I think, again, for the situation that we find ourselves in right now, this particular amendment makes sense, but I'll let Jesse give the highlights.
Certainly. In response to the COVID-19 health emergency, the village has been receiving multiple donations ranging from cash for PPE purchases to masks and other protective equipment. With this large volume and also to an effort to keep business items to a minimum with agendas, all things considered with social gatherings, just looking to temporarily suspend the donations policy here in the village of Grafton for the extent basically to mirror the state of Wisconsin's Stay Safer at Home emergency order to try to put a timetable to it.
Questions?
I have one. So if this passes, when this is all over and we're able to get back to business as usual, is there a way to get a list of different departments who've gotten
Absolutely.
donations?
Yes, very good question, Trustee Harbeck. We are actually tracking all of the donations because we are planning a comprehensive thank you, if you will, for all that participated.
If you get anything that's marginal or questionable, just, just like that out.
Absolutely.
All right, the action is a motion to approve the acceptance of donations received by the Village of Grafton for the duration of the State Safeguard Home Emergency Order 12, including any extensions to this order by the state of Wisconsin.
I'll make the motion.
Trustee Meineke with the motion.
Second.
Trustee List with the second.
Okay, we have a motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
That motion passes 7-0. Let's move on to item C, ratification of the village president's public health emergency proclamation. We put that together a couple weeks back, and then we were advised by legal that this particular resolution should be ratified by the entire board. So this is basically back for approval by the entire village board. So I'll entertain that motion.
I'll offer.
Motion.
Trustee, okay, Trustee Meineke offer, Trustee List motion, Trustee Antoine second.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That resolution passes. Let's move on to item D for the Finance Committee. This is 2 items, but basically one topic. So Jesse, you want to give us the highlights?
Yes, absolutely. So the revolving loan fund, as you recall, was defederalized last year, leaving those funds available for the local municipalities to utilize for development projects, for economic development type projects. That said, came forward to the Finance Committee late last month, looking to amend our revolving loan program to establish a new minimum balance in that program of funds, and then to utilize funds in excess of that minimum balance and apply them towards specifically 13th Avenue road reconstruction and the Clark Station site redevelopment. The advantages here with applying that those funds out of that program and leaving a minimum fund balance is that we are on a track to avoid borrowing for road projects this year, being able to apply that revolving loan fund program excess, if you will. So with that, the 2 items are before the village board this evening, coming out of finance on recommendation thereof.
I'll entertain a motion for items 1 and 2.
I'll make the motion.
Got Trustee Miller making the motion,
Second.
Trustee Krieger making the second.
Questions, comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes 7-0. Let's move on to item 8. Let's move on to item 9, approval of the village expenditures, $242,955.26.
Part-time hearing, President Rockwell.
We're on item 9, entertain a motion for the approval of village expenditures.
I make the motion.
Okay, motion by trustee Miller,
Motion by Trustee Miller,
I'll second.
second by Trustee Meineke. I'll try that in the proper order.
okay, motion and second, comments on, questions on the bills?
I just have one.
Yes.
Batch 2, page 8, down near the bottom, JT Engineering. I realize we are still probably following up. We're still completing Riverbend.
Yes, as reported in the early March, last, I guess, normal weekly bulletin, if you will, this would be the last payment with regards to that project and closing out with JT Engineering. This particular invoice literally came in the day after that board meeting. So with that, this $4,969.70 invoice will close out that project with JT Engineering.
Okay, so just knowing that, I will make a comment that I will be voting yes to approve the bills with the one exception on JT Engineering for the reason that I've spoken about in the past, conflict of interest
Okay.
for
Okay.
department head.
Any other questions?
Yes, Group 1, page 1, Central Wisconsin at Work. What is that?
Group 1, page 1.
Group 1, page 1, $155.
Is that the energies?
I've got We Energies on my page 1.
Is that batch 2 maybe?
Are we on batch 2 maybe?
That's a check. I have another one, Group 2, page 7, now we did that. Group 2, page 2, Baker Tilly, Rousey, contractual services done for a full year for what?
That is for our audit services. Baker,
Okay.
yep, that's our audit services.
And the Northern Lake Services, and Agilex, page 2, 2026, various testing concern, what's that concerning?
That's a wastewater expense for the utility.
Yes, thank you.
Building?
Yep.
Okay. That's right, the 155, I'll talk to Paul.
Oh, okay.
All right, that being said, motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes 7-0. Item 10, a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it. Krieger.
Tom Krieger with the, trustee Krieger with the second. So we have trustee Harbeck motion, trustee Krieger second to adjourn.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you
Stay
very much,
safe.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night, gentlemen.
Good night.
Lady.